One of my funny parenting fails has to do with my oldest son.
Let me think.
One weekend he had gotten himself in a lot of trouble, so much trouble that we decided he would not be able to go to the birthday party that the family was planning to go to.
Oh, okay, I got one.
So myself and my son stayed home, and I had a few things that I thought I'd get done, and so I just kind of set him about some things I had for him and went to do some laundry. And about a half an hour later, I realized it was pretty quiet, and I thought I'd go get him and just make sure everything was going well with what he was supposed to be doing. And so I went to call for him. He was out in the backyard, and he wasn't there.
So we lived on the East Coast, and we owned a trampoline in our backyard with one of those netting protection things around the edge of it. And so I was on the trampoline with a few of our kids bouncing around a little bit, and we noticed these two large birds making their way into our yard, onto the property. And my kids right away said those are turkeys, and I said they're not turkeys. And then we looked over and realized they were indeed wild turkeys. And they were not only coming into our yard, but they were coming right towards us.
I couldn't find him in the rest of the house. I went out to the backyard to check one more time, and I heard some laughing and some giggling, and happened to look over the fence where some neighbor kids, catty-corner to us, were jumping on the trampoline, and lo and behold, my son was with them.
And so I had this moment where I was like, can turkeys hurt you? Do they eat people? I wasn't sure. Like in that moment as they're coming at us, I forgot if they were dangerous or not. So I quickly jumped down off of the trampoline, ran to the garage, grabbed my weapons of choice, a rake and a shovel, and ran back out and tried to scare the turkeys away, not realizing that my kids were stuck on the trampoline in a panic while I'm chasing these turkeys around for probably a good 30 minutes. And just for the record, turkeys, not very nice. They are not kind.
And so he saw my face, he saw my stern reaction, and I told him he had to come back home to figure out what happened. And it turns out that while I was doing my chores, he had come in the house, he had gone out the front door, around the block to the neighbor's house, been welcomed inside by these back fence neighbors, and went out to play with their kids.
But anyway, I left my kids stranded on the trampoline while I went on a wild turkey hunt, which by the way took about an hour and a half to get them off the property. And this involved me throwing sticks at them, chasing them with rakes, hiding inside our front door, and for the most part, my kids were left on the trampoline. So that was a pretty bad dad fail. I was too busy defending our property to remember that my kids were stuck on the trampoline.
I learned that my discipline was maybe a little hands-off that day, and perhaps I needed to be slightly more involved with the tasks that I gave him next time.
Oops.